Alright, welcome back to the Rebirth of Dave, Danger and Violence Extreme. This is episode number 27, and the new format will be a little changed for this episode. Instead of 4 shows, followed by this month's pay-per-view, this episode will be 3 shows of Danger Zone TV, the next one will be 3 shows of Danger Zone TV, and then we will finally have the Attitude Adjustment pay-per-view. That is what we're building towards, so there we go. I don't believe we have one match pre-booked, the Lords of the Ring Championships. The official match will finally be taking place between some Flex Pecs will be defending their Lords of the Ring Championships against Frankie, Perez, and Akima Brave. This match was supposed to happen at the Extreme Doubleheader, but Akima Brave went down with an injury on a WLW show, and we wrote him off, and Frankie Perez got Shady K, and they did not capture the tag titles. Akima Brave is back now, and they are ready for the tag titles. So, yeah, that's basically all we have to go through. Alright, let's get into the show. So we have 2 pre-show matches this time, because this is one of the very few occasions here in Dave where I'm going to be able to have a match that's called in the ring. So what I usually do is I have like Car Crash open the show, and then I have Hardcore end the show. And I can't have them go back to back or else the fans shit on me. So I just did 2 pre-show matches this time. So yeah, this is going to be one of the few times where we can have a called in the ring match on Dave in the main event. I didn't want to ruin it by making it like a hardcore steal the show match. So, yep, pre-show matches, we have Tribal Warrior defeating Gravedigger and Shady K defeating Toma. I considered having this be like a dark television match, but then it would be like, well, that'd be stupid in kayfabe, because like, what if Toma won? Then it'd be Toma versus Dean McWade, so whatever. We open the show, Troy Tornado storms out, he is fucking pissed, and he's not pissed at Pablo, he's not pissed at Ernest Youngman for interfering in the match. He kind of expected that. He asked Chris Caulfield and Frankie Perez and Akima Brave to hold the Bible Bashers back, because, you know, that's what the whole gimmick of the Defenders was, and they kind of failed. They failed Troy Tornado. Ernest Youngman was able to escape, and Troy Tornado calls out Chris Caulfield. He is pissed. He calls him a good-for-nothing, old-ass loser. Chris Caulfield comes out, and Chris Caulfield fucking defends himself. He's like, yo, if you want to fight, let's fucking fight. And that is how we set up our main event for next week. The main event next week will be Troy Tornado versus Chris Caulfield. 2 guys that are angry at each other, just ready to fucking blow off some steam, I guess. We open the show with Busta Cap defeating the local worker Denny King. Got a gimmick of alright, whatever. He actually got a pretty good performance. So maybe Denny King should be added to that shortlist. He is 37, however. Maybe I kind of want to sign some of these younger guys once we grow in size. I don't even know how many we're going to get, like what the minimum is going to be with the new size, so we'll have to watch out for that. But that got a 41, and then after the match, Busta Cap is cutting a promo like, yo, it's time for me to get a rebound. I talked a lot of shit, and I did not deliver in the 4-way. Dean McWade won the 4-way, so it's time for me to rebound. I really need a rebound. And Bradford Pevels storms out. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? You need a rebound. I lost to Shady K. It is disgusting how you think you deserve a rebound. Bradford just kind of stops. He sighs. He stops. Busta Cap's like, where are you going with this? Boom. Dream left hook right across the jaw. Bradford was so mad that he ran out of words to say. Bradford's just kind of an angry dude. Tennessee William and Marshall Dillon give us a update on themselves. Tennessee William, he is using this match with Tribal Warrior once again. Last time he had a match with Tribal Warrior, he was like, I'm fucking injured, dude. And now he's doing that shit again. Tennessee William using any excuse he can to get out of working on Dave. And Marshall Dillon actually did have a grueling match with Tribal Warrior and is going to take a week or two off to recover, get back to full 100% strength. And speaking of Tribal Warrior lets the fans know that he is ready to take the next step here in Dave. He is tired of just being some guy on the roster, and next week he's going to fucking have a match against a local worker probably, and just show Dave that he is ready to become World Championship material. We then get a 41 rated match where King Boone defeats Acid. This was alright. It's a pretty good match for the fact that no one likes Acid and Java. Their days are numbered here in Dave, but I am going to have Java put people over before he finally gets cut. And after the match, the Outcast, Acid and Java come in and beat the shit out of King Boone for winning until the Dead Men Walking run out for the save. This also got a 41. Suzanne Brazel cutting decent promos for her skill set. And there we go. That is that. We then cut backstage to a Pablo promo, 80 rated segment. Pablo Rodriguez, he's cutting one of the backstage promos with the rest of the Bible Bashers, where he is just having a fun time. He is saying he loves watching his closest contenders battle it out, fight to the death, possibly kill themselves, and then the work is just easy for him because it's like whoever wins is probably going to fight for the World Championship, and if they're killing each other, then I got an easy road ahead of me. But I got a feeling I can make it an easier road. And that is where he ends the promo. He just says, I got a feeling I can make it an easier road. Wonder what that will mean. We then have a face-to-face between Shady K and Dean McWade. Danger Zone TV. This is the official, yes, the match is happening next week for the television championship. I was going to have it happen this week, but I thought it'd be better on next week's show. And I might as well pre-book Chris Caulfield and Troy Tornado right now. Why is it so? There he is. There we go. So those are we have all three matches pre-booked. I can't pre-book Tribal Warrior versus a local worker, and I fucking did it again. Whatever, they have a face-to-face, and it is official that the television title match will be next week. We then have a backstage segment where Flex and Pecs are plotting backstage. They have another crowbar. They're like, alright, if it worked once, it's gotta work again. Pecs is like, I like your thinking, Flex. I like your thinking. We take out his kneecaps again. He can't wrestle again, and he's donezo. Flex is just like hyping him up. Yeah, he's donezo. Let's do this. They're saying this right outside the locker room that Akima Brave and Frankie Perez are in. So the second they open the door, Akima Brave is just right there and boots them both right in the face. And Akima Brave drags them both to the ring for the tag title match. The ref makes sure that both of them are able to, they're standing and ready before they match. So it is a clean match. And in the end, what was supposed to happen on the Extreme Doubleheader happens here. The Defenders win the Lords of the Ring Championships. Frankie Perez submits Flex Garcia with the P clutch. We have our second ever Dave Lords of the Ring champions here with Akima Brave and Frankie Perez. Pex Jimenez had the lowest rated performance of all of them, but really a 55 in Dave is nothing to scoff at. So there we go. We get a nice short little celebration by the new tag team champions, Frankie Perez and Akima Brave. And the first show of this episode gets a 73. That is gotta be one of our best shows ever. Obviously, I think that's because of the main event. The main event really, that's gotta be one of our best main events ever too. So, you know what? We might as well check because I kind of want to see where that match and that main event ranks amongst the power or the top 100 or whatever it is. So, there we go. Top 100. Why can't I find it? Is it not here? Is it only in here? Nope. There it is. So that was tied for our third best show ever, but I really care more about that match. It was tied for our best match. Frankie Perez is in the 2 greatest matches in the history of the New Dave. Pablo Rodriguez, of course, is just pulling fucking... Pablo and Frankie are just fucking pulling numbers. And you know what? Flex is too. Flex and Pecs is too. Oh, I guess just Flex. Holy shit, Flex. Alright, nice shit from that episode of Dave. I'm sure you can see here, I kind of fired my road agents because I need to cut expenditures. Our fucking workers were getting up there. So, hopefully I can make some money this month. And, yeah, so let's get into week 2's edition of Dave. Alright, here we are for July week 2. Danger Zone TV, episode 2 of 3 in this edition of Dave, or this episode of Dave. We have all of our matches pre-booked. Caulfield vs. Tornado, Dean vs. Shady K for the television title, and then Tribal Warrior vs. a local guy. Yeah, that's all that really needs to be said before we hop into this episode. So, we have another 2 pre-show match card. Latino Fear 1 against Frantic Ali and Toma. I literally didn't pick a winner because I did not care who won this match. And in the other pre-show match, Lead Belly and Knuckles. This was really to see whether or not Knuckles could be a singles guy, and the match had to be 6 minutes. So the answer is no. He cannot. He is not a good singles guy. Alright. So we open this episode of Dave with another Troy Tornado promo. This time he's backstage, and the whole message of this is that Caulfield has no idea what it's like to fight on the West Coast. Because I'm going to be bringing some of that coastal aggression here to Danger and Violence Extreme for our match tonight. In a complete reference to CZCW, because as we know, Troy Tornado never wrestled for the original Dave. He was a Coastal Zone guy before going straight to Hollyweird, or maybe he went to TCW. I don't think he worked for Hollyweird, but I know he worked for CZCW, and he's referencing them here in that promo. We open with the Tribal Warrior match. It got a 38 because these two do not seem to click. I might need to give Mr. Dominic DeGraff another chance later down the road. Actually, you know what? Let me make a note of that. Give DeGraff another chance. DeGraff. Alright. I want to give him another chance to see if he could actually be good and not to be, like, penalized for not clicking with someone. I pulled up the notepad and I realized that there were some things that happened in between the last 2 Danger Zones that I forgot to say. So let me just preface this by saying Dallas McWade is gone from the company. I did not fire him. His contract ran out and he wasn't the best road agent, so I decided to just let him walk. And replacing him, I hired one of the cheapest road agents I could find. Tamara McFly was the cheapest road agent I could find. And Suzanne Brazel's also going to be road agenting. So those are our 2 road agents. I might get Chris Caulfield to road agent and a few other of our good wrestlers road agenting. Also, Dave is now officially on WrestleWorld. I'm sure you guys saw that here, that it is being viewed on WrestleWorld. All of our pay-per-views and TV will be viewed on WrestleWorld. I was originally going to wait till the National Pride TV deal ran out, but I realized National Pride said that they did not have exclusive rights to the footage, so I could sign with WrestleWorld at any point in time, and I just haven't been because I'm stupid and I don't read the fine print. And the last thing I wrote down, this is really only for my Tyler, because I know he likes the women's wrestling in the C-verse. He knows a lot about it. And so I just thought I'd tell him 2 things that happened in 5SSW so far in this save. The first is that Fuyuko Higa was the 5SSW Joshi Grand Prix winner in 2020, and our girl Shiori Japensa won the world title. We had an offline save go on for a little bit where we were playing a CWA and we were going to do a brand split. and we just signed a fuck ton of people, and one of the people we signed was Shiori Japensha, and she fucking tore the house down. So I thought that was really awesome that she won the world title in this save. That's it. That was just to pop my Tyler. So after the Tribal Warrior match, Doug Peak comes out, and he's like, I'm sorry, Tribal, but I am not going to let you take this next step in Dave. You call yourself a warrior, but I'm a warrior of the engine. Alright? You don't understand what it's like to be a true warrior until you wrestle a real fucking deathmatch. So until you're willing to face me like a man, you ain't making any forward steps in Dave. And Tribal Warrior's like, alright, bring it on. Let's have a match next week. Boom, that's our first match pre-booked. Pre-book match. Can I do deathmatch? I remember I tried to do death matches once. And I couldn't. Oh, I can? Can I? Oh, I think I can do it. Let's do a fucking deathmatch. Let's go. Let's go. Doug Peak and Tribal. Come on. Yo, let's go. Fucking deathmatch time, baby. Hell yeah. No death matches. That was, I got so excited. That's fucking disappointing. Alright. That's our first match pre-booked for the next show. Doug Peak versus Tribal Warrior. Maybe there's going to be a little feud starting because of this. Maybe. I'm trying to get back to my notes and stalling. So after that confrontation, we have another confrontation. This time between Busta Cap and Bradford Peveril. Busta is furious at Bradford for giving him a cheap shot last week. He confronts him backstage. Bradford tries to fight him. Busta fends it off and he's like, alright, save it, Brad. We both need a rebound. Let's just fucking admit that. You can sit out here on your soapbox and claim that you're the biggest, you're the fucking whatever you need. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, Busta Cap versus Bradford Peveril next week. That started off really nice. It started off like a really good promo, and then I just forgot what I was gonna fucking say. So yeah, Busta Cap basically interrogates Bradford Peveril backstage and tells him, if you really need a rebound, do it against me, bitch. So there's that. We then have our television championship match. Dean McWade versus Shady K. And in the end, 49 rated match. They don't seem to click and it made for an awkward bout. That's kind of upsetting. But in the end, Dean McWade wins the television championship. Dean McWade has bested Shady K with the Canadian Lariat, won the television title, and that is 2 title changes within 2 weeks. One of those title changes was supposed to happen on a pay-per-view. That's why this match did not happen on last week's Danger Zone TV, because I did not want to have 2 title changes go on the same show, and it wasn't a pay-per-view. That's just kind of weird. I didn't like that. So Dean McWade has captured the television championship. And we then go backstage, back to the Burger King for the Crown promo. King Boone orders 5 Whoppers for himself and then 5 more Whoppers for his 3 companions. And basically, Deadman walking do all the promos, all the promo work in this angle. And they tell the Dave faithful that Java is a dead man walking and Mobstar is going to murder this man next week. So there we go. Those are our 3 matches pre-booked for the next show. Mobstar versus Java. Those are the matches. And we go on to our main event. Chris Caulfield and Troy Tornado. They have an absolute fucking brawl for a good 15 minutes. And nobody really seems to have the upper hand in this match until Pablo Rodriguez and the rest of the Crown run in and throw the match out. Normally in Dave, if there's a run-in, it's just fucking... Why isn't it here? Oh my god. Whatever. I had everybody run in. So fucking all of them run in. And normally in Dave, when there's a run in, the match just keeps going until it ends. But no members of the Crown are allowing, not the Crown, no members of the Bible Bashers are allowing either man to get up during this match. And it is a astronomical advantage because one of the men that runs out with the Bible Bashers to replace Saeed Ali is Aces High. Aces High makes his debut here in Dave. He will be an official member of the full-time roster from now on. Aces High, and once Troy Tornado and Chris Caulfield and the ref fully decides, all right, we got to get this match is never going to finish, Ernest Youngman picks up Troy Tornado, looks to write him off, but Phil Vabert storms out with the tag champions, Akima Brave and Frankie Perez. I couldn't fit him on the screen. I'd rather have Aces High here, but we're just pretending that the tag champions are here, and Phil says, Pablo, you have fucked up, man. You were right. I was going to give the winner of this match the Dave World Championship title match at Attitude Adjustment, but since you wanted to throw the match out and weaken your opponents even further, let me put it. I've decided that at Attitude Adjustment will be, oh my god. At Attitude Adjustment, you will have to defend your championship in a 3-way dance against both Troy Tornado and Chris Caulfield. Basically the what's it called? Not stereotypical. The fucking cliche of the champion beats up both men and gets booked into a 3-way. And that is our first match pre-booked for Attitude Adjustment. Chris Caulfield, Troy Tornado, and Pablo. The 3-way has been set. And there we go. 90 rated segment. I didn't even notice that. Very good for Aces High's gimmick. 90 to end the show. And the show gets a... We are just fucking hitting home run after home run in these fucking show ratings. Like, holy shit. 75. Now I gotta check if where that one lands. I know it's better than a 73 for sure. Take your time. Where is it? Top 100s. It is tied for night 2 of the Extreme Doubleheader. So, yeah, holy shit, that's nice. Obviously that match was also I didn't even realize how good that match was going to be. So, damn, Chris Caulfield went to a double DQ and that got a 70. That's pretty cool. So yeah, let's get on to the, whoops, I don't know how that got on there. So yeah, let's get on to the final show on this episode of Danger and Violence Extreme. Alright, so here we are for the final edition of Danger Zone TV on this episode. We once again have a full match card for you guys. We're opening with the grudge match between Mobstar and Java. Then the grudgier match against Busted Cap and Bradford Peveril. And then an even grudgier match against Doug Peak and the Tribal Warrior. We have, that's what we got ready for the show. So, no news happened in between these 2 weeks. So, let's get right into it. And in our pre-show match, we have the debut, I guess the in-ring debut of Aces High, not the on-screen debut, so it doesn't really count. But Aces High got a 38. That's cool. That's alright. Nice. So, we open the show with Pablo Rodriguez cutting a promo backstage with his newest member of the Bible Bashers, Aces High, this time, alongside all them. And Pablo's message is basically, Phil thinks I fucked up. Alright, Phil, you have fucked everything up for your two little buddies, Frankie Perez and Akima Brave, because now that we have the returning team of Kali Slick and Aces High, they're gonna take those new Lords of the Ring championships right off their shoulders. We weren't gonna take them originally, but you fucked this up for them. So when we take those titles, you better think of this exact moment. And that actually reminds me that I need to add Aces High to the Bible Bashers. So he is the member. He is a member. There we go. Ernest Youngman is the deputy. Everything looks right. Alright, so then we have Mobstar versus Java. 48 rated match. Vocal crowd did not seem particularly thrilled with Java. But Java defeats Mobstar in 6 minutes and 20 seconds with the greetings from the island. And trust me when I tell you guys, this is going to be the final feud where Java and Acid are really pushed. Because once this feud ends, Java's going to be turned into a jobber. And then once he turns unimportant, it's pretty much the end of the road for those two. As much as I love Acid and like Java, they're just never going to get good ratings because of our vocal crowd. So it's kind of a shame to see that this is the way that it's going to end for these guys. But you got to do what you got to do when you're not getting ratings. So I don't know how I edited. All right. So we then have, after the match, Acid is a petty motherfucker. And he is not satisfied with just Java defeating Mobstar. So before the Crown can come in and pick up their fallen friend, Acid runs in, sends Mobstar to Dick Kick City, and then grabs Java, and the two run away, cowering away from the Crown of all teams. And we then have a promo by Dean McWade. I do not have title pictures for him or the Defenders yet. I will have them ready for the next episode. And if I don't, then I probably won't do title pictures anymore. I didn't like the way they turned out, honestly. So Dean McWade says that he is a fan of open challenges, and he liked it when Shady K held open challenges. So next week, we will have Dean McWade will hold an open challenge to anybody that answers next week. And I put Shady K off screen just to advance the storyline because, I'll let you guys know this right now. It is not Shady K that answers the open challenge. I know who answers the open challenge is not Shady K. We then have Bradford Peverill versus Busta Cap, 61 rated match. That's a pretty good rated match. Just for this match, I kind of cheated a little. I'm gonna be honest. Just because for this match and just for this show, I turned off repetitive booking because I realized that this would have been the 5th or 4th time that these two have fought. But I believe 2 of their 3 previous matches, or 4, happened on the pre-show. So, I mean, it would have given me a penalty when I don't feel like I deserved it. I'm going to turn it back on after this show. I just felt like I should get that off my chest. But in the end, Bradford Peverill does win again. He defeats Busta Cap in 11:41 with the Dream left hook. And after the match, Bradford storms to the ringside area, grabs another microphone, gets right into Busta Cap's face and says, "Busta Cap, that was fun. You were right, that was a good rebound from me. But just for even considering that you deserved a rebound over me, I spent a little money and I paid someone for a little surprise for you." And out comes Marshall Dillon after 2 weeks of resting. That's all after that brutal match at Tribal Warrior. That's all he needed was 2 weeks of resting. He runs in. Bradford says he paid this man, and Marshall beats the shit out of Busta Cap like he's getting paid. So in the end, Marshall Dillon making his return to Dave after a very, very short hiatus. We then have Troy Tornado and Chris Caulfield. Troy Tornado is becoming our second best promo. Him and Pablo are fighting for that number 2, and Flex will just always be number 1. Troy Tornado meets with Chris Caulfield backstage. He says, "We're not going to fight right now, and I still am fucking mad at you, Chris. And we are going to have our one-on-one match eventually, but this has got to be on hold, because I don't give a shit about you when it comes to the World Championship. I don't care if you're in that ring, if Pablo's in that ring, or both of you are in the ring, or all the Bible bashers and all the defenders are coming right at me. I am going to walk at an attitude adjustment with that Dave World Championship. And then, once I'm champion, we will continue this. But for now, I'm going to stay out of your way, and you stay out of mine so I can rest up and get ready for this World Championship match." Troy Tornado, this is just how I'm kind of going to book him, just like a fully, he says exactly what he's thinking kind of guy, and he doesn't give a shit about anyone. coming in his way. And it is time for our main event, Tribal Warrior versus Doug Peak. Doug Peak broke his fucking arm. That's not good. That is really not good. Yeah, oof. Normally I'd be mad, but Doug Peak isn't really like one of the backbones of our roster. Like, yes, I did have immediate plans for him, but I mean, I'll need to rewrite some stuff probably, but it's not a huge loss. That sounds like a dick move, but it's not a huge loss. And he finished the match because he's Doug fucking Peak. So yeah, Tribal Warrior defeats him in 15-20 with the Headhunter special. And after the match, yeah, I got you, Troy. And after the match, Tribal Warrior offers his hand out, probably to the non-broken arm. And Doug Peak, he's thinking about it. Like, obviously, he offers his hand out for a handshake. And Doug Peak, he thinks about it, and then before he can even decide whether to shake it or slap it away, Flex and Pecs show up and say, I don't know, they probably say something like, yeah, you guys are fucking boring. Bro, you know what the fans want to see? They want to see Pecs being flexed. So they run in with chairs, beat up the fucking two that are in the ring. They beat up Tribal Warrior, they beat up Doug Peak, and then pose. And we end this episode of Danger and Violence Extreme with an intense pose battle. 68 rated match. Not our best show one of our better shows of all time, but not one of our best shows in this episode at least. Probably the main event being a 54 due to Doug's broken arm had something to do with it. So before we end this episode, I kind of want to see how injured Doug Peak is, how bad it's going to be. Is there anything? Yep, Doug Peak out injured. Alright, let's see. Medical. 37 days and he can only work angles. Oh. So yeah, a little bit of rewriting is going to need to be done there. Because the plan was, I'm pretty sure this was pretty obvious. The plan was going to be that Doug Peak and Tribal Warrior were going to team up to face Flex and Pecs. But, nope. Struck Gold 84, whatever. That's not what I'd call that. So yeah, thank you all for watching episode 27 of The Rebirth of Dave. Like I said earlier, the next episode will be the final 3 weeks of build before Attitude Adjustment 2020. We have, I believe, only one match pre-booked for that show so far. And for the next episode of Danger Zone TV, we have the Open Challenge. And I forgot to mention in the Marshall Dillon segment that the announcers announce that Marshall Dillon will be fighting, I believe, a local worker next week. So maybe I'll give Mr. DeGraff his second chance there. So yeah, there we go. That is going to do it for... Oh, I also forgot to announce in the opening segment that we will see the return of the Long Beach crew in a tag team match, Cali Slick and Aces High. They will make their tag team reunition or whatever on that episode of Danger Zone TV as well. So thank you all for watching. I hope you tune in for the next one, or at least Attitude Adjustment. And I hope you maybe check out the Yes Mod series that's going on my channel. So yeah, I hope to see you in one of those comment sections.